Hello, it's been a while since I posted on YouTube. Apologies if the audio of this sounds a bit funny. I feel myself coming down with a bit of a cold. So it's quite funny that I've chosen to do You thirsty? Come here, up. Are you thirsty? Mwah. There you go. Treat. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Go on. See it? Fuck's sake, man, bro. Nothing ever goes smooth anyway. So, yeah, it's been a while and I feel like I've got a cold, but I've been meaning to do more brewing videos, and I've definitely been meaning to get round to this, which is the tasting of my German Weissbier, which I brewed about 2 months ago. You can click on that link above you in the right hand corner and that will take you to that brewing day. Now, since then I have brewed. I've got a bit of a surprise behind that bottle, which you can see on the screen. But first of all, let's get to what we're here today to talk about now. 2 months ago, I brewed a German Weissbier. I aimed to make about 20 to 25 litres of a cloudy German beer, and I'd never done one before, so I had no idea how it would turn out. I've made a porter, a saison, an IPA, a golden ale, and a lager. This was just something that I had wanted to do. Having been to Germany a few times and enjoyed the beer out there, I wanted to see if I could make my own one, and I thought I had a good enough experience of tasting them whilst I was in Germany to be able to tell if I'd hit the mark. Now, I had problems with my brewing equipment before this brew, so it was in a way a test for me to be able to see if that brewing equipment had been fixed, if it was working correctly. Go away. I gave you a treat, that should be enough. Come on. Go away. Lando, out. Right, I've lost my train of thought. Basically, brewing this Weissbier was not only a test to see if my equipment was still working and in good working order, it was a test to see if I could nail this style of beer. So I ended up with about 20 to 25 litres of beer and roughly about 40 pints. The target ABV for this was 5%, so quite sessionable, on the stronger side of sessionable, but when I've been in Germany, I often find them quite easy to drink in terms of the alcoholic content, but difficult to drink many of because of the gas and the filling nature of this kind of ale. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get one open. Here it is. They've been in my shed for about 2 months. We've gone through a really hot summer and now we're approaching a cold winter. Nothing like the temperatures of last year just yet, but they've been sitting in the shed and bar about 2 hours ago when I brought it into the house, this was perfectly clear because a lot of the sediment had stopped at the bottom of the bottle. The funny thing when I drank the first bottle of this was I didn't disrupt the sediment, because when I've made ales before, I've wanted to keep as much sediment as I can in the bottle, and therefore when I'm drinking it have a nice clear ale. But I invited 2 of my friends over from Berlin. They now live in Sweden, but Jana is from Berlin, and she said that when they drink a Weissbier in Berlin from the bottle, maybe if they go to the off license and buy them there to drink at home, what they do before they drink them is they roll them on a flat surface. And I didn't know this, and it actually led me to believe that I had failed when I tried my first beer. In fact, I was quite disappointed. I remember saying to Serena that, I don't think I've hit the nail on the head with this one. I don't think the brewing has gone particularly well. It should be a lot cloudier. It should be a wheat beer. I'm not going to roll this one now on a table. I'm actually just going to shake it a bit, and that way we can just disrupt the sediment in the bottle. and we'll get it open and we'll pour it in the bottle and we'll just see what it's like. Little bit of fizz in the top of the bottle. The carbonation on this is quite good, actually. That is one thing I will say that I got pretty good, pretty good, pretty spot on. So, all right, let's pour ourselves a drink. A little bit of fizz, some head generation. Okay. So there we have it. I have a light here. So there we go. I put the light behind. We have a nice wheaty straw kind of golden colour. Oh, it smells nice. See, one of the things I can't get my head around because I don't have enough experience brewing at home enough is differentiating between the different strains of yeast that I've used to do my home brews. There's something in me that is trying to convince myself all of my brews smell the same. I have to say they do smell different, but there is something within them that I think is consistent, and I want to kind of try and get to the bottom of that. Anyway, let's have a sip. And this one does not have the carbonization that the others have had. But what does it taste like? It tastes quite sweet with a bitter finish. Not the driest finish. Not a great deal of mouthfeel. By the way, the colour rating on this was 6.3, so not that high. I kind of did expect more head on it. I don't think the carbonization on this one, maybe from the priming, is particularly good. The grain bill for this was 2.7 kilograms of wheat malt, pardon me, and 2.3 kilograms of Pilsner malt. With that amount of wheat malt in there, I would have thought I would have had more body and definitely more head on this. I'm trying to get this glass down so that I can pour the rest in and see if I can generate more head on it. I mean, it definitely smells earthy. The recipe said that it would have some banana notes. If I really try and convince myself to smell them, I think I can. But I would say that for a cloudy white beer, it smells like you think it might by the look of it. Boil time on this was 1 hour and 10 minutes. And the hops that we used in it are Hallertau Hersbrucker hops, 25 grams of those, and 12 grams of Saaz hops. There we go. See, there we go. We have a better head now. Cloudy, just as you would expect it to be. I think that's not too bad. It's got a good aroma. The yeast used in this was W yeasts, Weihensteppen Weissen, and it was fermented for about a week at 22 degrees and then conditioned in the bottle thereafter. So, bottle conditioned Weissbier. I made 40 bottles of this and I probably only have about 4 left. So yeah, it's put me in good stead over the last couple of months. On to what is going on behind me in the fermenter. I have a cerveza. I have about 26 litres. That's been fermenting in there now for the past couple of days. I brewed that on Sunday night, and I'm excited to say that I've been using my brand new Mangrove Jacks temperature regulator. I have a heat pad underneath the bucket which is holding temperature at around 19 degrees. At the moment on it I have 19.5 degrees. I've been taking temperature readings every 12 hours and we've not dropped below our target temp as yet. So kind of looking forward to opening that on Friday this week when I can then bottle. I'll be using some of the Cooper's sugar cubes to prime my bottles before I rack. And yeah, looking forward to having a cerveza for Christmas and the New Year's. I'll also be trying to do a Pilsner before I leave on holiday over the Christmas period, and I'll leave that fermenting because I can use the cold temperatures in the shed along with the heat pad below the fermenting bucket and my Mangrove Jacks temperature regulator, which seems to be working brilliantly. Very excited about it. And that's about it. Again, bit rusty on the old speaking to camera. Haven't done it in a long while. A whole multitude of reasons. Lack of motivation for one of them. But, you know, it's always good to get back into the community of brewing. Like I said, I want to do a lot more of this. I'm going to be picking it up in the new year, and hopefully with the additions of a few new bits and bobs here and there, and moving into my own recipe creations, I'll be able to share more videos about what I get up to, what I produce, and yeah, hopefully be delivering more content more often, which means more beer, which means more good times. Right, I'm going to leave it there. You've had enough of my waffling, and I've taken up far too much of your time, but for now I will say cheers and thank you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Right, cheers.